The IPCC special report on 1.5 tells us that we still have a chance of meeting the 1.5-degree target. However, we must cut emissions by 50% by 2030 for that to happen, and we have to go to net zero by 2050. The only way we can get that 50% cut in emissions by 2030 is in this upcoming round of NDCs. The present round of NDCs have us towards a 3-degree target. So obviously, we need to have much more mitigation action for us to be able to do that. And we have only this year to do those new NDCs and then submit them in 2020. So that is why we're saying this is the year of ambition. Well, as you know, loss and damage was the brainchild of the Alliance of Small Island States. We recognize that we have to do as much adaptation as possible. However, regardless of that, at some point, there are certain things you cannot adapt to. And so that is when loss and damage occurs. And in fact, I believe the United Kingdom has now declared a climate emergency. That is loss and damage. When we have all these devastating impacts of hurricanes in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, in India, and the effects of that, that is loss and damage. So obviously we have to strengthen our early warning systems. We have to have an educated public who can use the outputs of the early warning systems to then take refuge to avoid this loss and damage, and then also have the infrastructure in place, good shelters that people can go to in the event of this loss and damage. So that is certainly one aspect of it. However, the other aspect has to do with slow onset effects. So for example, long episodes of drought leading to desertification. And when you lose arable land, then what do you do for the people who depended on that agriculture? You have to find some other alternative to address, and that is loss and damage. As sea levels are rising and we have erosion of beaches, and we now know in some villages even the cemeteries are being washed away because of this erosion. We know that the aquifers which they depend upon get salinized. Again, how do these people survive? What can we do? And in fact, this local people are being affected by an international problem. What mechanisms can the loss and damage mechanism, the WIM, do to help these people who are being affected?